dreams, honey, I can tell. I can tell. You can't wrap your head around it. So astounded when I found you. You had doubt, but we were bound to. I can tell.
About time we got a new religion. Let's be honest.
Anthony Fauci 60 years ago when he was a student at Holy Cross in Massachusetts, whether he would grow up to single-handedly control how Christians celebrate their most beloved holiday, Fauci probably would have assumed you were high, smoking that tea with the beatniks in Greenwich Village, reefer madness. He would have been confused. At the time, Fauci
Never heard
was
anyone
studying
call
to
it
become
tea
a
before.
doctor, not the Pope. And there was a difference then. Little could he have known back in 1958 that public health would become America's reigning religion, and he its high priest.
The ironic thing here is that his whole premise is like actually probably false, because I bet if you did, you know, have your little time machine, you know, use the time stone, go back in time, talk to Dr. Fauci, and you said, hey, like, one day you might say that people can't get together on holidays and have to socially distance from each other. And he'd be like, oh, cool. Am I the head of the CDC? Because that's kind of what I'm trying to be. And if there's a pandemic, I'd probably have to do that. So thank you for letting me know. And also, how does time travel work?
But life is like that. You never know where you're going to end up. Fast forward to the beginning of last December. Anthony Fauci was 79 years old.
Patron
His
saint of
80th
Wuhan.
birthday, it turns out, was Christmas Eve, and Fauci was determined to celebrate it with an exhibition of authority flexing that had no precedent in the entire history of the federal bureaucracy. No one had ever done it before, but Fauci did. He decided to unilaterally end Christmas.
Is that
And
what he
so,
did?
one day on NBC
Did
News,
we not have
he
Christmas
did that.
last year?
Why?
A warning and a plea from Dr. Anthony Fauci. Should people now cancel their travel plans for Christmas?
To the extent possible, don't travel, don't congregate together.
Dude, sounds like a real fucking authoritarian, dude. To the extent... Oh no, dude, is that an S&M background, bro? Yo, these dudes are sickos. Holy shit. Can you please hit me, mummy? Please whip me, if at all possible. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
There was.
Oh my
Should people
god.
now cancel their travel plans for Christmas?
Yes, I am single-handedly canceling Christmas. All people participating in Christmas will be arrested by the CDC. Nope.
Don't travel,
Not just
don't
if
congregate together.
possible, please don't. For your
There
health.
was. Do not travel for Christmas, Anthony Fauci said. Do not
If at all possible, dude. Come on. I mean, you're reaching, bro.
congregate together to celebrate it. That means no Christmas Eve in
I
church.
can't get
That
over
means
the
no
S&M.
Christmas morning
What did they
under
have
the
to
tree
Google
with
to
your
get this
family.
image? You know, like, or they probably have like a stock footage archive or a stock photo, and to search like dominatrix, or maybe it's just Tucker's, you know, search history, and it's just a screenshot off his phone.
Tearing through stockings. It means no Christmas at all. Sacred Christian observance canceled until further notice from Dr. Anthony S. Fauci, MD.
Dude, that's not what he said. That's literally like, I would honestly, if he did say that, I'd be like, that's fine. I'd still defend it. But he literally didn't say that, dude. Is that the best clip you had? Too? Like, there wasn't anywhere else that he said, like, yeah, I think we got to end Christmas. Like, I can imagine this doofus saying something like that.
What a thrill it must have been for him to say something like
Dude.
that. Here's a guy who fully expected to spend his life giving prostate exams, and there he was
Amazing.
declaring the ancient Christian calendar null and void. Pretty amazing. But even more amazing was the reaction that Fauci received when he said it. The people in charge loved it. They never cared much for Christmas anyway. All that religious talk and unsupervised family time, it faintly seemed like a threat. Anthony Fauci, by contrast,
This dude is parody. He's literally parody. I can't... What am I supposed to do with this, dude? He's mauling over something like the most like minor statement. Like, yeah, you should probably cancel your travel plans. You're probably gonna spread the virus to people you love, and they might die. Like, very milquetoast moderate statement, just a recommendation from a healthcare professional. Like, what a thrill it must have been for him.
Was no threat
Like,
at
honestly, Tucker, if anyone's having a thrill right now, it's you. Like, you get off on this shit.
all to the people in charge. He worked for them.
Yes,
His job
master.
was to do their bidding.
This is so, the psychosexual dynamics here. I don't think I've talked about this enough. I've referenced it like 3 times now, but it just keeps spinning in my head that this says a lot about modern conservatism. This one image, it's all like this weird, like a psychosexual obsession and repression, and dude, the connotations here are just like very unnerving. It's like every Republican low-key thinks that like Black Lives Matter is out to like turn them into white cucks that are controlled in cages by gay and women elite. And low-key they kind of like that, so that's what scares them even more. So that's why it's like, oh man, oh no, it's too deep. I can't do this.
Confirm their biases and to
I quit.
never ever challenge their sense of their own moral superiority. Their job in return was to love him for it, and they did. Drive through affluent neighborhoods in Washington, D.C. to this day, and you will see the signs in people's front yards. Honk for Dr. Fauci. In Dr. Fauci we trust. And above all, thank you, Tony Fauci. And they really do want to thank him, not for funding the gain-of-function research in Wuhan that created COVID. No, it's bigger than that. They're thanking Dr. Fauci for the gift of life, which he alone bestows. What you're seeing here is Washington's new religion. It's Fauciism. So it shouldn't surprise you that this year, once again, our more leaders are asking Dr. Fauci the very same question. Christmas is coming. Can we celebrate it? Before we go through the hassle of booking plane tickets, renting cars, buying presents for our loved ones, preparing to celebrate the central holiday of the country's biggest religion, please let us know, Dr. Fauci. Is it on or off? Have we been naughty or nice? Tell us. This year, the job of asking that question fell to an anchor at CBS News. And this Sunday, she asked Dr. Fauci. Here's what he said.
But we can gather for Christmas, or it's just too soon to tell?
You know, Margaret, it's just too soon to tell. We've just got to concentrating on continuing to get those numbers down and not try to jump ahead by weeks or months and say what we're going to do at a particular time.
It really depends on how you behave, whether you're naughty or nice. At this point, it's just too soon to tell whether you can have Christmas this year. And in hearing that, the news lady just nods. Of course, it's all perfectly normal. We'll check back with you, Dr. Fauci. Keep doing science as only you can. And of course, that's exactly what Tony Fauci plans to do. It's what he's done with his life.
Dude,
Last week, Fauci...
It's just, you're reaching so hard because no one, like, it's a recommendation, Tucker. I feel stupid explaining this. He knows. Like, no one's canceling Christmas under force of law. Yeah, maybe like public gatherings might get shut down. Okay, you got me there, dude. The big fascist Dr. Fauci coming in to stop the spread.
Fauci had to unravel this scientific puzzle. Are the hundreds of thousands...
Meanwhile, like, if the Christian conservatives got their way, it would be illegal to like participate in any other religion. Hanukkah's been canceled. Like, well, actually, they like the Jews these days. They're on good terms for now.
Of sneezing, unvaccinated illegal immigrants coming into this country every month, driving a spike in COVID cases. Could that be happening? Figuring that out.
Oh, wow. Is he trying to connect? They're trying to cancel Christmas. This is okay. This is why Tucker gets paid the big bucks. This is some high level rhetorical tactics here. He's connecting the immigration fears with the war on Christmas. Brilliant stuff. Yes, they are letting immigrants into the country to help continue the spread of COVID, which also isn't real, but also is real because it's a bioweapon from China. But also don't take the vaccine because that's also the real bioweapon from China is the vaccine. So anyways, immigrants coming in, spreading the not real virus that is real and also not real enough to take a vaccine from, but the immigrants coming in, spreading this virus that may or may not be real, exists in a state of quantum flux. Well, here, hold on. Yeah, it's basically this, you know. This is this was actually the deep state signaling their plan. If you actually enhance here, if you zoom in, you can see where it says illegal immigrants spreading the real or not real COVID. Again, quantum flux. And then that's connected to the fake vaccine that is going to make people feel like they're safe, so then they can be convinced that it's okay to let immigrants in, and then but the immigrants have the real and not real virus, the real bioweapon but the fake virus, and they're gonna by the property of transference going to make people believe the virus is spreading, and that's where you get to cancel Christmas, because then you tell people, hey, you know, this COVID stuff isn't going away, and it's all those damn free thinkers. We would have gotten away with it too, but don't look at the immigration, because immigration is not where the COVID's coming from, but let the immigrants in, and no more Christmas. It's all very simple, really. If you don't think about it too hard, it's very simple. This is the most watched man in news media right here.
What was Anthony Fauci's job as a scientist? Fauci's scientific conclusion? Well, here it is.
Are immigrants a major reason why COVID-19 is spreading in the U.S.?
No, absolutely not.
You know what I always bothered me about Colbert? He didn't take his gimmick far enough. You could do such a funny late night show, dead ass pretending to be Tucker Carlson, you know, like that was kind of Colbert's grift, even though I feel like most people don't even remember that. Not grift, it wasn't a grift, but you know, his shtick, I should say. Because he didn't really, I feel like he didn't lean into it enough, but the idea was that he was a conservative, like, news anchor, and that was how he kind of differentiated himself from Jon Stewart. But again, I never really thought he nailed that in the way that you could, because there's just so much opportunity to make fun of these fucking morons in the most deadpan way possible. I feel like that's something Sacha Baron Cohen needs to do. He needs to create a late night Republican talking head character, do a show with that. It could be great.
Dan, I mean, if you just look at the data and look at the people who've gotten infected, look at the people who are in the hospital, look at the people who've died, this is not driven by immigrants.
What? Fashionable people getting COVID? No, absolutely not, Dana. The sneezing, unvaccinated migrants streaming across our southern border from around the world are absolutely fine. In fact, from a public health perspective, they're great people, like BLM rioters, but very much unlike Donald Trump voters.
Look, dude, I don't have the data, but I'd bet that it's a lot more fat American hogs in the hospital with COVID than immigrants. And, you know, especially because the immigrants probably don't get health care, so they die in the streets and probably hurt nobody. Privileged hogs who just refuse to get the vaccine and wear a mask and are just, you know, screaming at parents in schools, calling them rapists in front of their, like, 5-year-old children. Like, I think they might need to carry this one. They might need to own that a little bit.
In fact, these
again, I don't have the data, but you know, it's just gut feeling.
People may be the solution to this pandemic. If we're going to beat this COVID thing, we're going to need a few 100,000 more people from Haiti ASAP. They know a thing or two about public health.
Bro, we didn't say. What the fuck are you talking about?
Meanwhile, other non-religious data tell a somewhat different story. The latest figures from immigration.
This dude doesn't even straw man, bro. He just like he vapor mans. Like there's not even a straw man that he's attacking. He's not taking an argument and taking the least generous interpretation of it and then attacking that. It's like there just is no he's just making up words. Like Fauci said, yeah, people from Haiti know about public health, so we need 100,000 of them. Like it's just not even close to a thing he said. How do you... He's invented a whole new man. First there was the straw man, then of course in reaction they developed the steel man, but Tucker's coming out here with the vapor man. It's just a non-existent man. He's attacking.
Officials show that fully 18% of illegal migrants leaving Border Patrol custody have tested positive for COVID. That doesn't even include the unknown but very large numbers who never wound up in Border Patrol custody. More than 25% of migrants who were, quote, recently scheduled for some expedited deportation flights have tested positive for COVID. What percentage of these people are vaccinated? None. But let's face reality here.
Is that a
Fauci
bad thing?
said.
I mean, maybe we should...
None of that's a problem. The real
Tucker,
problem...
are you saying we should vaccinate immigrants? Because I'm here for that. They could, you know, at the border, get a nice little jab. I'm all for that.
You and your silly demands to see your family for Christmas, or to be with your aging parents as they die in the hospital. That's the problem, and how you vote. Our public health establishment strongly agrees with this. As Tony Fauci spoke, the CDC rolled out new guidance to match. They cautioned that people should hold, quote, virtual holiday celebrations or have socially distanced celebrations outdoors at the end of December. We're doing all this, keep in mind, for a virus with a median age of death that is higher than life expectancy in the United States and also in the United Kingdom. Let that sink in. In the state of Ohio, for example, where the life expectancy is 73, the median age of death from COVID is 79.
Oh.
That's just public health.
I mean, good thing my grandma is actually only 75, so she should be fine, you know? Like the median is higher than that, so we're good. We're in the clear. Grandma, let's hang out.
But here's the funny thing. Not everyone wanted to hear that we need to cancel Christmas. It turns out, outside of network newsrooms, Christmas remains stubbornly popular in this country. And if there's one thing Tony Fauci responds to, it's public opinion. Now, Fauci's on television nearly constantly, not simply because he's brilliant and an amazing talker, and not at all because he's totally self-absorbed and loves to hear himself speak, but because it's his job as a public health official.
I mean,
so he
literally.
This way.
That was
He's got more reason to be on TV than you, fucker.
As my saying, we can't spend Christmas with our families, which was absolutely not the case. I will be spending Christmas with my family. I encourage people, particularly the vaccinated people who are protected, to have a good, normal Christmas with your family. But it's just the way all of the other disinformation goes around. You say something talking about a landmark of a time, and it gets misinterpreted that I'm saying you can't spend family Christmas time.
Oh my God, dude. He's literally answering you, Tucker. Like, why are you showing this, man? Why the fuck would you show this? Like, I'm not saying that you can't have Christmas. You can have Christmas, of course. I'm gonna have Christmas. If I say a date, then people take it, like Tucker Carlson, take it the wrong way.
Which is nonsense.
Which is nonsense. Yeah.
So when I said it's too soon to tell whether or not you can celebrate Christmas, what I really meant was, of course you can celebrate Christmas. What are you, stupid?
Oh my God, that's what he's saying to you, Tucker. He was saying that, like, all right, these are advisements if you want to be safe for whatever reason, if you have an immunocompromised person in your family, if you have young children who can't be vaccinated, you have old people who might get a breakthrough case, like, yeah, these are some precautions you should probably take. Okay, boom. But also, like, I'm not canceling. He just literally came out and said, I'm not canceling Christmas. Like, if you're vaccinated and you feel safe, you know, like, do your thing. He's literally, yes, he is saying, you idiot, you can still have Christmas. He's saying that to you. The real problem is you, Tucker, not the you like general, like you specifically.
So Tony Fauci didn't misspeak.
Oh my God.
You're an idiot for misunderstanding what he said. You're
yes.
being very naughty.
Yeah, you are, Tucker. You're
Now,
being a naughty
this
little boy.
is a strategy
You're gonna get a spanking from Master Fauci in the SMNM dungeon in your basement. You
Tony
fucking
Fauci
sicko.
has employed before.
Dude, Tucker's a dirty little slut, dude. I can tell. He loves getting spanked. Look at that face, dude. That's a face of a dude who just, you know, he just wants to have someone take control of him, you know? He's just a filthy, filthy whore.
Just a year ago, Fauci told us that, quote, herd immunity would eventually end the pandemic. Once 60 to 70% of Americans are either vaccinated or develop natural immunity, Fauci told us we'd be done. We'd be safe. And out of nowhere, the slogans on the side of the barn got repainted, but no one acknowledged it.
But that's because not enough people got vaccinated and we got a Delta variant. What the fuck? Like,
quoting a higher number in television interviews. He started saying
things did change.
70 to 75% of people with immunity. At that point, we'll be good. And then the number rose again.
I think so, bro. Tucker needs a Sigma in his life, you know? I get it. He's, you know, some people are just filthy little whores and they just want to be spanked and abused and they like it. And that's Tucker. And I'm not here to kink shame. I just, I don't know if you saw earlier, bro. I don't know if you were here, but he lit. Here it is. Hold on. What am I, 834? Fucking S&M dungeon, dude. Like, I can't make this shit up, dude. Like, look at this. That's him. That's his face after getting spanked. Oh God. It's beyond parody, dude.
Fauci changed it to, quote, 85%. Now, in December, a reporter at the New York Times, their job is to report the news, noticed this and asked Fauci about the changing numbers.
Socialism is when I have a gun.
In a telephone interview, Fauci acknowledged that he had slowly but deliberately been moving the goalpost. He is doing so, he said, partly based on new science, but partly on his gut feeling that the country is finally ready to hear what he really thinks. Oh, now he's telling us what.
I mean, this is where you'll get full agreement from me. I think Joe Biden should have fired Fauci. 100%. I've said this before. I think he should have let Fauci be Trump's guy, you know? Fauci was the guy who tried to please Trump. Let him be that. And get somebody new. Put a woman, you know? Like, get a nice, intelligent, strong woman to come out who does speak her mind and say the facts as they are. Doesn't try to do this weird, like, reverse psychology public health game. I mean, I don't like that, but
what do you really
it's the first somewhat legitimate thing that Tucker has said this whole almost 10-minute segment.
We weren't ready for it before. We just weren't prepared for the truth. But as we grow in our faith,
I don't like that take, but Tucker is like the kind of proof that take is I understand where that belief comes from, that the public can't handle the truth because of motherfuckers like Tucker. Motherfuckers like Tucker. But even though I understand where that reasoning comes from, I disagree with it because, you know, then when it gets out that you've been thinking like that, you just give ammunition to motherfuckers like Tucker. And that's why it's just better to actually stand for something and, like, hold your ground. Preferably backed by numbers and science. Yeah.
Fauci
leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
So yes, he was lying, but it's only because you can't handle the truth. And the media agree with that completely. They've been repeating that message for months now.
So Dr. Anthony Fauci, the target of an escalating right-wing smear campaign.
The scientists should not be under siege like this.
Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, Josh Hawley have all taken up Dr. Fauci as a boogeyman.
The increasing demonization of Dr. Fauci by Donald Trump and his minions in the Republican Party is growing. It's obsessive.
And watch what they're doing to Tony Fauci right now, because he is the new Hillary Clinton for them. They are making him the piñata of all of their disaffection and their upset.
He's not wrong.
Dr. Anthony Fauci is trusted and even immortalized. In the other America, though, he is tarnished and distrusted. How did...
And that's silly, right? Why?
Dr. Fauci, of all people, become a right-wing boogeyman?
Making him a superstar is what makes him that target. He should just be a scientist, and that's why I think he should have been replaced. Because Trump was that whole celebrity, public policy official. You know, I think they should have left that in the past.
What they're doing on Fox News to make Tony Fauci into a right-wing.
Who was that female doctor always making the faces in the background of like Trump and Fauci's media conferences in the beginning of the pandemic? They should have gotten her. Should have let her go off about how she really felt. Giving her the job.
Boogeyman. Here's how he's the subject of a right-wing smear campaign. What they're doing is they're quoting him, okay? And they're comparing his quotes from yesterday to his quotes from 3 months ago to his quotes from a year ago. And they're noting that they don't all add up. That's a smear campaign. But as CNN's media analyst pointed out, in half of America, Tony Fauci is immortalized. And that is true. It's not just the yard signs, it's the Tony Fauci flags, the Tony Fauci ornaments, the Tony Fauci clothing, the Tony Fauci welcome mat. You can find it all online.
I mean,
now
bro, what the fuck do you want, dude? Welcome to capitalism. Like, you know, people will sell fucking anything.
Fauci tattoos showing the date they got vaccinated per Fauci's orders. Some Fauci disciples are...
Yo, he got his fucking... That's amazing, dude. God bless. That's actually hilarious.
They're literally tattooing vaccine cards on their arms.
Amazing.
But that's not weird. It's just fake.
Dude, people... Come on, Tucker. People get weird-ass tattoos, okay?
On MSNBC, this is what Tony Fauci worship looks like.
I could watch Tony Fauci spit truth at the disinformation elves on Capitol Hill all day long. Tony Fauci, who under normal presidents is this trusted and usually beloved advisor who has an encyclopedic memory and knowledge. Last night going after Tony Fauci, while it was predictable, was still an abhorrent...
It's, again, like, it's... His time is well passed over, but of course... It sells. It sells merch. You know, I got my Fauci ouchie. Who, you know, what are you gonna find another person whose name rhymes with ouchie? Like, come on.
And pretty brazenly political effort. It's the muzzling of Dr. Tony Fauci, who is respected, revered, I dare say, in the medical community on Capitol Hill and trusted by the public. But this man is a jewel. He's an international treasure, not just a national treasure.
He's Jesus with better shoes.
It stopped him mid.
The muscling.
I love his
fucking laugh. He was only on MSNBC 6 times.
National treasure.
He's Jesus with better shoes.
Dude, I need to get that on my soundboard.
He was only on MSNBC.
He literally laughs like I imagine like one of those old timey, you know, British Empire bourgeoisie, like tall fucking wigs, powdered face, you know. Like,
SNBC 6 times this week.
Such a fucking little scamp, dude.
He's God. And you know who agrees with that? Tony Fauci does. As Tony Fauci reminded us in June, Tony Fauci is not simply an international treasure. He's the physical
science
embodiment
incarnate.
Of science.
So if you are trying to, get at me as a public health official and a scientist, you're really attacking not only Dr. Anthony Fauci, you're attacking science.
It almost looked like the last thing he said was, and I don't mean, at the end there. I think what he was going to say, and I don't mean like I represent all science. He just means that I'm just a mouthpiece. Like I'm taking the resources of the CDC and condensing them into public health statements that I can go around and say in the media. Like he's not he's not pretending that he's the arbiter of science, or he's deciding what is science and what isn't. He's saying, like, I am just listening to, again, my vast resources as head of the CDC, and then I'm giving the public the best translation I can. Which, actually, I don't think he does very well, and that's my criticism of him, but that is the sentiment. That's not him saying, I am Jesus science. I'm science Jesus. Science is my heavenly Father, and I am the Son of God.
Oh, there it was. The third-person self-reference. Fidel Castro in English. But that wasn't a slip of the tongue. Fauci meant every
what is this?
word of it. Tony Fauci is himself a devout member of the Church of Tony Fauci. Now take a look at this still photo from Tony Fauci's home office. Look on the back, on the bookshelf. Do you see, what is that right there? Those are Tony Fauci prayer candles prominently displayed inside Tony Fauci's home.
Oh, I mean, come on, dude. That's kind of funny.
Well, at least he's real. Fauci isn't just the high priest of Fauci.
Oh, God. It's a sick, sick country, man. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?